Hello, my name is Emma and welcome back to It Gets So Lonely Here. So before we met the mermaid lady, we've escaped the person chasing us that bound us by an agreement or a contract, and now we're going back and then we'll meet her tomorrow. So let us continue. You agree to meet with the mermaid come sundown the following night, then make your slow, stumbling way back up the cliff. Then, to the cottage you have purloined as your own. Theft is my favorite thing! Once indoors, you settle down upon your pallet, and then close your eyes. The sighing of the wind outside and the distant roiling of the waves against the rocks do not disturb you, because I am unperturbed, and also when I sleep I never wake up. You feel, after your midnight encounter of a Moorish kind, quite at ease, perhaps prematurely so. What happened to the icy fear that prompted your frantic flight through the forest? I also wonder, did she just turn back after I left the forest? Where has all that gone? Do you not think that you are being a bit complacent? You weak-willed, dirty child? No? Oh well, you will. That's a threat, my friend. That is a threat. Don't do that. That's actually quite rude. The following morning, when it arrives, is cloudy and overcast. Better than the morning, or not better than the morning, better than night. I don't want to deal with the night. The night is scarier. It is not a particularly pleasant morning, but at least it is not raining. True, though I do like rain sometimes. That is some small consolation. You rise from your straw pallet, stretching, and then glance around the interior of the fisherman's cottage. It looked dilapidated last night, when much of it was obscured by the shadows, but, well, it looks even more so when subjected to the morning's light. Unpreferred, but it is what it is. We have no other choice, man. The cottage's interior was the distinct, disquieting appearance of having been abandoned in a hurry. There is broken pottery strewn upon the ground, and the singular wooden chair, which once must have stood by the singular wooden table, is lying on the floor. Someone got really mad, table flipped that stuff. The doors of the cupboards, meanwhile, are ajar, the shelves within depressingly bare, starved to death. A quick search reveals a handful of edibles, but these are precious little to be getting on with. If you wish to live here comfortably, you'll have to look into foraging. But I don't know anything about foraging. I'm what they call an idiot. You ate very little last night and your stomach is empty. What did we eat last night? Did we even eat? What? It was the malcontented rumbling of your stomach, in fact, which roused you from your slumber. But your body seems to be very far away indeed, much like the great clouds which choke the sky. Man, the writing in this is such a poetic type of writing, which really fits it, of course. And I'm pretty sure that is the intent, but wow. Clouds shouldn't choke the sky, that's rude. You're not thinking of your own physical discomforts, you're thinking of the mermaid. You're dwelling instead upon the events of the nights prior. You cannot help but think of the mermaid. Oh my god, she was so pretty. Did you truly meet an aquatic maiden last night, during your nightly stroll when you could not sleep? What do you mean? What do you mean? It was because I was awake. Yeah. It sounds unreal, especially now that the sun has risen and the clouds from the night prior have dispersed. You cannot quite believe it. Must have been a dream. But why, then, can you recall it so very clearly? Because it wasn't! You really did meet a girl! She was kinda cute! You help yourself to the scant food and drink available to you, all while thinking of your next course of action. Now, what are you to do? Your plan, of course, to return to the shore come nightfall, so you might once again see the mermaid, but night will not arrive for quite some time. Now let's go look for other maidens. Hehehe, cheating on the first day! You need to find some means of keeping yourself occupied until then. Foraging, you know, hunting works. The uninspiring interior of the cottage does not furnish you with any particular ideas, so you decide to go for a walk. Your soul still aches from the exertion last night, but if you go slowly, you ought to be alright. That is what you hope, at least. You do not want to spend much longer than you have to in the fisherman's cottage, no matter how cold it must be outdoors. True, it feels like the fisherman's cottage is, like, haunted. So we're to the point where it feels like someone died here. I might be lying on the corpse of someone dead. It's almost as cold inside as it is out, and in any case, the cottage is far too small. I mean, it doesn't look that small. One room is enough, I believe in you. You leave the cottage behind you and set off. You do not know where exactly you are going, but you suppose it does not matter overly much. You do not have any particular destination in mind, except one, the hearts of other maidens. Your meandering leads you to the cliffs, which are steep and sharp. The drop to the shore is a perilous one, so much so that you have to wonder on how you were able to descend the cliffs the night prior to meet the mermaid. I actually wonder why you didn't go the less steep way, as in down the green. You're rather more determined than you've ever realized. Though I, of course, could have told you that much. You're mean. I don't like you, though. You are surprisingly capricious for such a small, slender human. You walk along the side of the cliffs, keeping a sensible distance away from the drop to the shore. You might have survived last night's excitement unscathed, but you do not fancy trying your luck. I mean, what else is there to do except try your luck? It would be so like you, really, to avoid a drop to death in the darkness, only to stumble through the morning light and take an irreversible tumble. Your fortunes have never been the fairest. Ooh, now we're getting closer to stuff. Your meandering along the cliff reveals to you all manner of curious flora. You thought the night prior that the cliffs were weather blasted, but you can now see that your assumptions were incorrect. There are flowers here, very warm and bright, like the sun's light during the summertime. That felt like it was getting into like a rhyme kind of thing. My brain clicked to the rhyme and then it unclicked with summertime. Or you think, with a flush of pleasure, the fair hair of the mermaid whom you are certain you spoke to last night. She was a delusion, guys. She's delusional. These flowers are so very like her hair, it is uncanny. You step towards the flowers, drawn towards them, and sink down to your knees. The tall grass brushes your ankles like a caress, the morning dew wetting your skirt. Your clothes are getting damp, as are your legs, but you care not for this minor discomfort as long as I can sit in the maiden's hair. You have just an idea. Why not make a gift for your new friend? Oh? First date present? You are sure that she would appreciate it. Why would she not? She told you, in a voice that was stuck with dolor, that she had been feeling lonely. You want to see her again. And when you next see her, you would like to make her smile. It is with this thought in mind that you begin to pick the flowers which are growing upon the cliffside. These flowers do not have any thorns, and their delicate stems snap easily enough between your fingers, just like someone's neck. Kyo. You take care when plucking these flowers to leave a substantial amount of stem intact. You will need these stems so that you must twine the flowers together. You mean to make for your mermaid a diadem, something she will be able to wear in her hair. Is that what they're called? Not a flower crown? Are they the same thing? This tiara is certain to suit her. She is so pretty, anything would suit her. Oh, we're already smitten. We're smitten hard. You continue to work, slow and steadfast, as the weak sun shines. It takes time, but eventually you're able to fashion something you're satisfied with. You only hope that the mermaid will feel similarly. I mean, hope she does. She ever seen some flowers not at the water's edge? If indeed she really does exist. And then we go down, we die, and we realize she never existed. Carefully, you pocket your makeshift diadem, then decide to forage for some food. You discover, during your search, Some fruit trees where sweet burdens are enough to fortify your spirit. For the present, at least. It is fortunate, really, that you are so excited about your moonlight rendezvous with the mermaid, the one and only woman in your heart. 'Cause you have no one else, actually. If you were less focused upon the future and dwelt more on the immediate present, you might have had more of an appetite. But if you die, it's not the narrator's problem. The emptiness in your stomach assuaged, I don't know. You return to the cottage, whereat you mean to wait for the setting of the sun. There's very little to do, you soon discover, in the cottage, other than checking the cupboards and sweeping the floor, occupations which feel both depressingly pointless. There are no books to read either, with which you might pass your idle hours. Just imagine them. Do the fanning stuff, you know? Create stories in your mind. You do, however, busy yourself with trying to light a fire so that you might ward off the cold. Do we even know how to light a fire? I thought we went to a rich ladies' school. The time is horribly slow in passing, in part because you have precious little to do, but also because you cannot stop thinking of the mermaid. Will she really return to the shore as she said she would? Can you truly trust her? I mean, we have no other options if we're being honest. Oh, you hope that you can. If she were not present at your designated meeting spot, you think you would die from disappointment and hunger. Hunger too. The seconds continue to trickle by, unchecked by any hourglass, and as they do, the sun sinks beneath the horizon. Part of you worries, however, that this might be a little too early in search for the mermaid. Will she be there yet? You sit there, your stomach tight in anxious knots and as hunger, and as you listen to the wind which buffets your window, you hear it. The sound is faint, but you recall it well from the night before. There is a single, solitary voice outdoors, tempest-tossed amidst the roiling waves. The voice is a higher, clear one, silvery, if indeed voices can be colors, like a finely polished dinner plate in a noblewoman's home. The voice belongs, of course, to the mermaid. You recognize it, you love her for it. Who else do you think with a voice as angelic as this? Who else do you know with a voice as angelic as this? Relief begins to bubble up inside you, a relief so potent you feel dizzy from it. Or it's the hunger, girl, it's the hunger. She did not abandon you after all. Why, you wonder? Did you ever think she would? She's lonely. She said she wanted to see you. Did you think that was a mere nicety? Buoy, is called a buoy. Buoyed. If I said that right. As if by a gentle breeze, you hurry to the door. With trembling fingers, they are trembling, I presume, from excitement rather than fear, you seize the handle, then turn it. Oh, it's not quite that dark yet, though, I think. Then you step out into the night, dark, inky night. You walk towards the cliffs as you did the night prior, beneath the cover of the inky blue sky, the wind moaning fitfully with every step you take. Your soul still ache from your expedition the day prior, but you are able to ignore this discomfort because you are strong and you are in love, maybe. It seems irrelevant, really, when compared to the prospect of once again meeting the mermaid. You have known her for only one night, yet she has come to mean more to you than your own well-being. You would do anything for the mermaid if she asked it. Well, almost anything. You hurry down the sharp incline of the cliff to the shore, almost stumbling in your scuffed brown shoes, which really are not built with rock climbing in mind. So frantic are you in your attempt to once again make the mermaid's acquaintance, you'll very nearly fall and die. But good thing you did it, because this story wouldn't be as long as it was. It is a good thing that you still have enough sense about you to regain your footing. Otherwise, the tale would have come to a premature ending. Eventually, you make your way onto the shore, then approach the jagged outcrop of rock, whereat you last saw the mermaid. And there she is, stunning as ever. Like the night prior, the mermaid is perched upon these rocks, her fair hair strewn about her shoulders. When she sees you from across the shore, she ceases her singing, and her eyes light up. Or at least they seem to. Interesting. What are you insinuating? So you have returned to me, my hero, the mermaid says, and then lightly she giggles. Or perhaps I should say, heroine? Heroine? Herobrine. Ignore that. Her praise makes you blush. You do not feel worthy of it. Nobody has ever called you a heroine before. You do not ever think of yourself as a heroine, but you are of this story, because you are the hero of this story. If a story were made about you, you would think that you would be a supporting character, one without her own voice. You are not interesting enough. The mermaid seems to think you are, though, might be because she's an aquatic species and you are not. She is staring at you, delightedly, as though you are the only person in the world she most wishes to speak to, besides the dead person, maybe. The thought makes you tremble, but not as much as the mermaid's gaze. You tell the mermaid that you do not think you are so very brave, but she dismisses your awkward remark with a laugh. You fool, is what she says. I think you are. I see the way you scaled those cliffs. I thought that was very heroic. Oh, so she saw that, did she? Then, did she see how you almost slipped down the cliff, grazing your palms in the process, and how you very nearly fell? You have never been the most graceful of girls, but to have your failings exposed before being as poised and as perfect as the mermaid. It stings a little, more in fact than the resulting grazes on your palms your clumsiness brought you. You tell the mermaid that there's nothing heroic about it at all. You're simply excited, that is, to see her. Oh my god, we're so honest. We're so honest. What are you trying to say, girl? You weren't thinking. Well, that makes two of us. I was excited to see you again. She was? I've never had that in my life. No one's ever been excited the same way. Naturally. I had a very good time speaking to you last night. I had hoped we might resume our correspondence. That is why I came to the rocks a bit earlier than usual. I was waiting for you. Did you hear my song? Yes, you reply with a nod of your head. You heard it all the way in the abandoned cottage. It called out to you, like a siren. She's going to drown you, girl. That was the general idea. I was singing for you. She was? I've never had a song dedicated to me. You do not think you are worthy of the mermaid's song, but if she does not mind dedicating her voice to you, then, I don't think we're that bad of a person to not have a song, at least. Like, it's fine. Well, who else would I dedicate my voice to? There's nobody else to hear me. That is a good point, you suppose. Shyly, you look back at the mermaid. You thank her for her song. It was very beautiful. Then tell her, before you can lose your nerve, that you prepared a present for her too. Oh, have you really? You have. Indeed you have. It's a small thing, nothing more than a silly trinket. But if it would not be so much of an imposition, then with clumsy fingers you reach into your pocket. Okay, this picture makes it look like I'm literally gonna throw it at her. The like motion blur, oh my god, it makes it look like I'm gonna throw it at her. For a few minutes, you fret that your near fall down the cliff might have damaged the delicate chain nestled within it, but your worries are all in vain. The chain is surprisingly sturdy, given that it was made with only a few flowers and is held firm against the odds. You handle the chain with great care all the same, however, as you hold it out, presenting it for the mermaid's approbation. It is for the mermaid that you fashioned this chain. You thought that it would look nice nestled in her hair. You were pleased with the chain when you first made it, but after looking at the mermaid, you've begun to reconsider. Man, this girl got issues. Not issues, but she got no confidence, this poor child. The mermaid's beauty is otherworldly, so much so it almost hurts to look at her. Your flower crown, by comparison, seems a very meager offering instead. The longer you hold your gift out, the more unworthy it feels. You have half a mind, and as the seconds elapse, to snatch your silly, wholly unworthy gift back from the mermaid before she can judge you too harshly. But The mermaid's lips curve upward in a smile, and in a voice so full of gratitude it makes your heart throb, she says, "Oh my! Did you make this for me?" "Well, yes," you reply, still feeling a little flustered. "You saw these flowers earlier when you went for a walk, and they made you think of her." Not that you hasten to add. That you think her beauty is comparable to these flowers. "You're so much more than that," you say. "They are far inferior when contrasted with her good looks. I think the flowers are cute, though." You simply thought. You are unable to get the rest of this sentence out, however, because the mermaid interrupts you. Not rudely, but with something resembling compassion. Perhaps she pities you. She must be able to hear how your voice is trembling. Can she also see the way your hands tremor? Probably. "Oh dear. Faint heart never won the heart of the fair maiden, you know." Oh, faint heart never won the hand. Okay, we're starting with the hand, not the heart. "What happened to all of your constant confidence?" "I think that your gift is a wonderful one. I did not at all expect it, but it really is pretty." You look at your feet, too shy to meet the mermaid's gaze. Then you say very quietly that you are glad that she thinks so, but she does not need to spare your pitiful, so boorish ego. You have precious little of it left as it is. The mermaid seems touched by your shyness. Perhaps she likes her prey to be self-conscious. Look, I know this is a yandere sim, but come on, narrator. Let's not ruin the moment by calling us her prey, okay? I am not simply saying things to spare your ego. I am not like that. Humans might spout platitudes as easily as they breathe air, but I do not compliment others unless I truly mean it. I just realized her fin is kind of see-through, which is pretty cute. Or, not pretty cute, but, pretty. It's pretty, Is that not the point of speech? To have an honest dialogue with one another? If one party in a conversation is withholding their true intentions, then conversation is impossible. Playing games is a waste of my time, particularly given my time above the surface is so limited. Oh. You blush at this, more deeply still, and survey the mermaid beneath the full fringe of your eyelashes. Then, she really does like it? Did I not just say that? You humans are so very funny. What's with all your second guessing? She was like that too in the beginning. Oh, it's rebound time, boys! Let's go! She? My friend. The mermaid's answer is a simple one, but it makes her stomach clench regardless. Ah, yes. Her friend. How could you have forgotten about her? She used to make me gifts too, gifts like this one. She would pick flowers on the cliff over there where I could not tread. The mermaid gestures with one hand to the cliffs, which tower above the shore, tall and imposing as though to stab the skies above. And she would fashion them into crowns like this one, and bracelets. I was appreciative of her tokens, though she was similarly shy when she first presented them to me. She did not seem to think very much of her own handiwork. You and her are remarkably similar, really. There is no guile in the mermaid's voice, but her words have rather taken the wind out of your sails. Of course, the cowherd gave the mermaid gifts. Why would she not? The mermaid is beautiful. She is so very beautiful, like a tutelary goddess. She seems to invite tribute simply by existing. Were you more religious, or more irreligious maybe? You might even consider worshipping her. Though in essence, is that not what you're doing with your flower crown? How silly of you, to think that your idea was an original one. Of course, what a buffoon, what a fool I am. I might be accustomed to gifts, but it's been a long time since any human has bequeathed me with anything. Like I say to my god, I bequeath ye with ye flower crown. This is a pleasant surprise. I am truly thankful for your kindness, dear one. The mermaid leans forward on her rock, so as to pluck the circlet from your fingers. Her benevolent smile, all the same, is unwavering. And now that I look at your gift more closely, I rather think it's of a superior quality to the gift my old friend once gave me. Now this is enough to make you start. If the touch of the mermaid's fingers upon your own are not— Ooh! Fingers touching! Fingers touching! Could your silly gift really be better than the one she accepted? I think so. My friend's trinkets are all rather clumsy in execution, but I cherish them nonetheless. They were very precious to me. They did not last for a very long though, not when I took them with me to my home beneath the ocean. The water soon rends the fragile links between the flower stems asunder. And then they all break, that's why she doesn't have any of them. Your diadem, however, seems more sturdy. But it is, by the same token, very delicate. You must be very good with your hands. Ooh, 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 ooh. I got this, boys. Ooh, 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 or something. You think back briefly on your disastrous sewing lesson in the past, your numerous failed attempts to thread your needle, while the other girls giggled at you, and you blush. You think that the mermaid's praise might be a touch too effusive. You tell the mermaid as much, but she only laughs. Fool! I already told you it's good! Now shut up! I do not think so, no! The mermaid places your floral trinket upon her head. Ooh, that is cute! Over her long fair hair, and surveys you in a manner that seems almost coquettish. What do you think? You think that the mermaid looks radiant. Though, that is less because of your gift and more of her natural looks. You tell the mermaid this, though not in terms quite this glowing, and she giggles. You are selling yourself too short. I think your gift is lovely, really. The flowers really match my hair. I thought the flowers would kind of blend in with her hair, but now that I see it, honestly, yeah, it's pretty good. Yes, you answer with a nod of your head. That is why you picked those flowers. Oh, can't you understand, mermaid? Do you think I'm dumb? She is all you have been able to think of. I am glad that you've been thinking of me. I, in truth, have been thinking of you. Though I did not wish to say as much. No? Are you saying that you don't want to think of me? No, it would be embarrassing to confess how much I've been looking forward to our reunion if you did not feel similarly. I do not care to pine for humans from afar. But if you care for me as I do you, then it makes me feel less alone. You hasten to assure the mermaid, your face aflame. Do you ever stop blushing? Goodness gracious. That you do care for her. Very much so, because she's the only person there. There's not much else I can care about. You have not known her for very long. It's only been one day. But she has certainly made an impression upon you. She is such an easy conversationalist. The time simply slips by when you are together. And it does not hurt, of course, that she is so pretty. Oh, whoa, whoa, ho, ho. I have heard it said, yes, that my looks are rather appealing. My old friend was similarly complimentary. Oh my, oh my. We're bringing back the old friend. I cannot blame you humans for being so taken with me, when my form is so very graceful. Your legs seem rather cumbersome in comparison to my smooth, sleek tail. Can I touch it? I kind of want to touch your tail, guys. It must be so very depressing to lumber around on land as you do, living your days beneath the harsh sun and the cold, unfeeling wind. Technically, though, don't you too? It's just that you have a layer of water between it. Sometimes I rather think I pity you. But the surface is a good deal brighter than beneath the ocean. I will grant you that much. You agree with the mermaid, still being flushed, that there were some perks to having legs, an agreement which makes the mermaid giggle. Ha 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 ha, we made her giggle, first step to romance. I am certain that there are, though you cannot explore the ocean's depths as I can. I presume you've never tried it? You shake your head. Nar. You have never thought to do so, largely because you have never been so close to the sea before, not in all of your life. You did not have much opportunity for nautical exploration in the past. Well, you can begin now, with a little dip in the water. Maybe you will never come back, but is it worth it to meet the pretty lady? You are not allowed to go anywhere then, save the local church. It was quite a lonely existence. Well now, that's a pity. You were kind enough to give me a gift, fashioned from flowers which grow where I cannot reach them. So perhaps had to return the favor. The favor? Drown, 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 drown. It's time for us to drown. Yes, that is right. It would seem only fitting that I give it to you something that can only be found in the ocean's depths. Perhaps we could look at it as a form of cultural exchange. No, you protest, your eyes wide. You couldn't possibly put such a burden upon her. You did not give her a gift, after all, because you wanted to receive anything in return. Anything other than her friendship, that is. That means you did! You did it for personal gain. How dare you? Your intent is... What's the word called? Your intent is... not pure. Let's just go with that. Her conversation is more than enough to satisfy you. You do not need any physical presence on top of that. The mermaid does not seem very convinced, however, by your naysaying. She raises one eyebrow. Even this gesture is performed elegantly. Then says, "If my company is all it takes to satisfy you, then very easy to please indeed. But please do not rebuff me. I am offering because I wish to do this." And you're gonna reject your god? How dare you? Remember what I said? I do not say things for the sake of it. Well, you murmur, if she really doesn't mind. Of course I do not mind. Now wait here. I will not be very long. It would be rude to abandon my new friend in the midst of a conversation. And then she left me and never came back. I found out the next day that she did not die. I did. The mermaid turns her attention towards the clear, mirror-like water which shimmers beneath the moonlight. Then she dives. Her body arcs elegantly through the air, her long, slender limbs cleaving through the surface of the water with nary a ripple. She's good diver. She good diver. The mermaid's face is first submerged, then her torso, and at long last... I think that's how diving works, child. The water rushes forward to envelop her, as though it's been waiting for her. It subsumes her. It swallows her. It munches on her. It swallows and then gulps and then digests her. Then she disappears from view. The mermaid is gone, but you are still there. Well, now what do? There's nothing that can be done, you suppose, save waiting. You stand there for several moments, watching the black water lap against the shore. Drink it, touch it. Actually, we haven't had water for a while. Touch it, drink it. Drown, dehydrate from it, because it's salt water, maybe. The breeze howls mournfully, like a wounded animal, as it buffets your hair around your face and your torn skirt around your legs. Time elapses, but how much of it? While you stand there fretfully, feeling as ostentatious as a maypole. There's so much poetic language in those guys, and it's good for the story. It's bad for my brain, because I'm trying to read this, and if you've noticed by now, I stumble over my words a lot. Big words hard to read in one go, man. Brain too slow for mouth. When will the mermaid return? Will she ever return? You're starting to wonder, is that all you ever do? Come on, you got more than that. When, look over there, by the rocks upon which the mermaid once sat, the water is rippling. Looks as though your new friend has returned. Welcome back! You still have it on your head! It's still there! The mermaid pulls herself onto the rocks using a surprising amount of upper body strength, then smiles at you. I think you could... You could probably be a... I don't think it takes that much. But I've only known that because I've gotten out of a pool. I don't know. I apologize for the wait. I hope I did not make you worry. You were worrying, but you're not so half as honest as the mermaid. Mermaids might be spoken of as devious tricksters who lure sailors to their death, but they are, in actuality, very sincere. They are much more sincere than most humans, especially the one chasing you in the woods hunting you down. Perhaps that is why your kind fears them so. There are few creatures who inhabit the world whose capacity for lying is greater than your own. You tell the mermaid that you are not worrying, and she answers with a wry smile. I am not so sure about that. The mermaid is wilier than you thought. Wilier than you were giving her credit for. She seems straight through you. But no matter, it took me some time, but I was finally able to retrieve for you a gift. I do not have the means to turn it into a pretty piece of jewelry, as you did with the flowers, but I wish to give it to you nonetheless. I do hope that you like it. The mermaid leans forward, then holds her gift out towards you. Her slender fingers unfurl about it, like the petals of a flower being folded back, and... Oh, a conch! Oh, what a pretty gift it is. The ocean might be dark and deep, cold and unfeeling. Is this a stock image, bro? Why is the background white? Friend, come on, come on. But the same cannot be said for the object that glitters upon the mermaid's palm. She has fished from the depths of the ocean a beautiful shell, one which shimmers prismatic colors beneath the moon's light, much like the scales of her tail. The shell is so very pretty, it quite takes your breath away, just sucks it up. Sensation of drowning. You look at the shell worriedly, your teeth biting your lower lip. That is a bad habit, you know, you could make yourself bleed. Then ask the mermaid if it's really alright. Would a gift like this not be wasted on you? Of course not! I want you to have this gift because it makes me think of you. It does? How so? I thought it should be obvious. The shell is a lovely find. As are you. You're my lovely find, also my prey. You're a lovely prey. Oh. Did she really just call you lovely? Surely you must have misheard her. You can scarcely believe it. It isn't an awful lot for you to take in, but... Now, why are you gawping at me like that? The winds will change, you know, and then your face will be stuck like that, which would be quite the shame. You would waste our good looks, which for a maiden such as yourself would be nothing short of a tragedy. It seems that the mermaid really does think you're pretty after all. The mermaid, with her smooth skin and her fair hair. You can scarcely believe it. There is something almost laughable about the mermaid's compliments. No. I've seen pictures of you from the other ones. Come on. You're cute. Gotta give you that, girl. How could she call you pretty when her looks are so immediately, obviously superior? Tongue-tied, you look down at your feet. Wow, good feet there. Good feet there. Look at those feet. Definitely feet. You do not know how to reply to the mermaid. You have half a mind to refute her words, to tell her that you are not that pretty, not really, but you fear that you might look rude. You do not want to rebuff the mermaid's well wishes. There's nothing for that, then, but to take the shell which the mermaid retrieved from the ocean's depths for you. You do not think you are worthy of it, but neither do you want to refuse it, and there's only one thing worse than not knowing you're pretty, and that is rejecting a gift from your god. Now that is a surprise, the mermaid says, amused as you reach for the shell. I did not think you were bold enough to take it, without more coaxing on my part. You have exceeded my expectations. What a good girl you are. Your heart flutters with her praise, and it flutters all the more when your trembling fingers brush against the mermaid's palm. She presses the shell into your skin, and your own fingers tighten around it. The shell is sharp and pointed, and it digs uncomfortably into your skin. It hurts. But there is pleasure in the pain, the awakening of my M side. This too feels like a gift from the mermaid. You do not want to spurn it. It's such a, metaphor, isn't it? Right? It's like, the shell is a relationship. It looks, maybe it's like an image of the mermaid, you know? Not a relationship. Where she is very beautiful, the shell is very beautiful, but she's also thorny inside. But the shell is thorny on the outside. You do not wish to spurn it. Even pain can be a precious thing when dealt by one whom you care for. You never knew that before. You hold the shell to your heart, which is beating in a regular rhythm, and look at the mermaid. Then, very softly, you thank her. It is quite alright. It seems only fair, after you shared part of your world with me. I wish to share part of my world with you too. Humans cannot normally descend beneath the ocean's depths, and even if they do, they cannot remain there for very long. You are far too fragile. Would that I could, I would bring you with me to my underwater kingdom where we could be together. I mean, grow legs, pull that aerial move and come to land. The mermaid's melodic voice trails away, suffused with something resembling melancholia? Why does it sound like a disease when I say it like that? It's melancholy, but it's melancholia. She sighs. Then she shakes her head and smiles. But this will do for now, for the present. Please take good care of that shell. Look at it from time to time and think of me. That would make me very happy indeed. Oh? What happened? Oh, okay. Days pass. Oh, we're done? Okay. Days pass following this nightly encounter with your aquatic acquaintance with an almost intolerable slowness. You endure the hours of sunlight as best you can by going for long, bracing walks amidst the heather. Heather? Not weather? Okay. Foraging for berries and fruits among the hedgerows. You even, when you've mustered enough courage, take an old fishing line uncovered in the fisherman's cottage and try your luck by the shore. Your initial attempts at angling are without success, but as the time passes, your proficiency in the art grows. Sometime after you take up your rod, you find that you're able to catch the odd fish here and there. Small, scrawny things mostly, but the meat goes a ways to bolstering your rudimentary diet. You teach yourself how to remove the scales of these saltwater fish that you've captured and how to gut them. You learn, too, how to cook them over a simple fire. God, wilderness genius here! Sometimes you skewer these fish of your own on spikes and roast them, slowly, innards and all. You are able to sustain yourself well during the day, though the faint pangs of hunger you experience never quite go away. Your physical discomfort, however, is secondary when compared to your desire to visit the mermaid. Your days might be dull and drab, but your nights, comparatively, are made of magic. Hello, mermaid, back again. It is only during the night that the mermaid emerges from beneath the waves, and when she does, you hurry to her side. You have never before had anybody who took so great an interest in you, not until you met the mermaid. That is why she's grown to mean so much to you. Ah. Oh no. She's the first friend you've ever had. That's a bit, knowing that this is a yandere one, it's bad foreboding. But if you do not temper your obsession accordingly, I fear she may as well be your last. You care little for the potential danger, however, which lurks beneath your interaction with the mermaid. You want only to show the mermaid how much you value her, and you hope within time that she will come to value you too. Maybe a little too much. If you keep seeing her, surely she'll stop thinking of her human friend whom she lost so suddenly. That is your plan, at least. Are we the yandere, actually? Is that the truth? Fortunately, your self-serving wish to grow closer to the mermaid seems close to being granted. Your nightly conversations when you greet her come easily enough, the words tumbling from your mouth like a thread. You have grown rather comfortable in the mermaid's company, and she yours. She must have, for it is not long after you bequeathed her diadem of flowers to the mermaid that she looks at you, then posits a curious question. I was wondering, dear one, whether you would mind indulging in me. I know this might not seem like an appealing proposition, but I thought it would be remiss of me not to ask. I have seen some of your world, for I've sat on the shore for many, many nights hence, but, well, you have not seen nothing of mine. You have not seen nothing? You have not seen any of mine. It seems unfair that I should know some of the world that you inhabit while you know so little of my own. So, would you care to come with me? With me? Beneath the ocean's waves? There's so much I wish to show you, sights that cannot, I fear, be accurately represented in language alone. Okay, this is our drowning arc, guys. Be ready. Words can be awfully stifling when it comes to the communication of experience such as this. It is quite the florid speech, but at the heart of it beats a simple enough request. The mermaid wishes to bring you beneath the ocean's surface, so that she may show you her home. You are flattered initially that the mermaid wishes to show you something so personal, but then you wonder, aren't I gonna drown? But After this flutter of flattery, there comes an uncomfortable sense of unease. Like she's gonna drown you. We've talked about this, girl. The mermaid might feel at home beneath the water's surface, but what of you? You are a human girl with 2 awkward, ungainly legs, and you were not made to live under the sea. You frown, and mistrustfully, you look at the ocean. It is late at night, as it always is when you speak to the mermaid, and the water does not look blue. It appears instead to be obsidian. If I dove into that, I'd break my head. The waves moan as they break across the rocks, which jut out of the shore like a mighty dragon bone. They sound angry, violent almost. Salty sea sprays arc through the air, caught in the moonlight. It shimmers sharp as knives. Hesitantly, you take a step back. You are a little afraid of the sea. It is so relentless, so deep, and so all-consuming. It reminds you of a hungry monster. You have never submerged yourself beneath the ocean before. You never had the opportunity, and I don't think I want to take it now. You do not even know how to swim. You are fearful for your own safety. Should you consent to dive beneath the undulating meniscus of the water, but... Do not look so frightened, dear one. I will be with you, and I will not let you go. You have my word. That's a threat, girl. What if I need my air? Shyly, you glance at the mermaid. She is still perched upon a rock, her hands folded neatly upon her... Well, she does not have a lap, really, but she does have a tail. You are still afraid, but the mermaid's reassurance does help. Has she not told you numerous times that she is nothing if not honest? Do I still believe her? You trust her not to break her word. She will not leave you beneath the waves, abandoning you to a cruel, lonely fate to become food of so many fish that you've eaten. Of that, you are certain, am I? That is why, despite all your misgivings, you find yourself nodding your head. If that is what she wants, then you will accompany her. You are interested, too, in what lies beneath the ocean's surface out of sight. Oh, I knew you would agree. Thank you so much for humoring me. I will endeavor to make these next few moments the most memorable you've ever experienced. Yeah, drowning is an experience, you're right, yeah. Now, would you care to come with me? I shall be your guide. I'm surprised the flower tiara has stayed on for so long. The ocean's depths might be dark, but I will not let you get away from me. I promise. That's just all very interesting with the knowledge of what type of game this is. Very controlling. The mermaid extends her hand towards you, a hand that seems to cut through the moonlight like a blade. Violent imagery we're having here, man! The moon's celestial rays play against the mermaid's upturned palm so that it shimmers. The mermaid's hair, too, is glowing, backlit by Celin's glow, so that she almost looks like an angel. Her beauty is such that, for a few moments, you cannot do anything, neither step forward nor step back. You feel frozen in place, rooted in the sand like some shore-growing tree. You still do not understand why the mermaid has taken such an interest in you, but an old adage does occur to you. You ought not to look a gift horse in the mouth, or ignore the pleas of a graceful, dignified mermaid. You reach out, your arm shaking like a skinny bow of an ancient tree, and find the mermaid's hand with your own. The mermaid's fingers curl around yours, her nails, only now you realize how sharp they are, digging into your skin. Though the mermaid herself looks very soft, her grip is surprisingly strong. You do not think, if she willed it, you would be able to get away from her. But why would you want to? She's a mermaid, she's pretty, she's kept you company for so long. She does not mean you any harm. Now, let us be on our way. There is more to see in my underwater kingdom. I cannot wait to show it to you. The mermaid turns towards the ocean, as do you. A brief moment passes, wondering which allows yourself to stand there, your hand claimed by the mermaids, as the wind buffets your hair and your skirt. You inhale deeply. The smell of the salt is heavy in the back of your nostrils, so much that you choke on it. Plat! It is not a particularly pleasant smell, but you have grown accustomed to it after living in your tumble-down cottage by the shore. It is, well, nostalgic almost. You have a vague feeling as you stand on the precipice between the world and that of your aquatic companions, that you might never be able to smell the salt in the air like this again. This is just a silly supposition, though. Yeah, she won't trap me underwater. I won't die underwater. Definitely. You are being foolish. The mermaid will return you back to the surface in due course, will she not? You hope that she will. You, unlike her, cannot breathe underwater. You open your mouth, meaning to ask the mermaid about this fact, but you are not afforded the opportunity to speak. The mermaid has already shifted, her fingers still twined with yours. She dives forward, her body slicing through the surface of the water like a knife, and you, inexorably, are dragged along with her. Let us stop here, because, you know, this recording's already gone for an hour. I'm going to stop here, and then I'll continue next time. So, I feel like we're definitely going to drown, but what can we say? We're smitten for the lady, we'll do anything for her, almost anything, but now it's actually anything. So, I'll see y'all next time. Bye-bye. Hopefully we don't drown.